Yo, what's up, YouTube Nation? This is your boy Alex, and today we're going to give you a special YouTube video, one that you've been wanting for so long and you haven't got, and that is women from Spain have sex with black men. Yeah, it's a well-deserved video. I know y'all be like, damn, Alex, when you gonna finally get to the video, man? What's taking so long? Didn't want to overwhelm you brothers with these kind of videos. We'll give you this one, and we'll probably give you two more that will complete the series, and then we're gonna move on to something else that's very fun and exciting to talk about. Now, in this video, we're gonna talk about women from Spain and why they find black men physically and sexually attractive. So let's get into the video. Now, Spain is a different type of city that in the late 80s, early 1990s, when we had, did peace treaties with Spain. We had the American military over there. And during that time period, we were trying to build a base because, if you look at the late 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, we had all these wars. And guess what? During the time of the 1992 basketball dream team, well, a lot of y'all probably don't even remember the 1992 Olympic dream team, where we had Michael Jordan, we had the legendary five-time NBA champion Magic Johnson, back to back, yeah, and you know this. We had five-time NBA champion Magic Johnson. We had Michael Jordan. We had Karl Malone, John Stockton. We had Charles Barkley. I think we had David Robinson. For San Antonio, we had David Robinson. I think we had Scottie Pippen. What's that guy's name from the Phoenix Suns? Damn, I forgot his name, but it was this tall white guy that was a good perimeter shooter and a good blocker, but he played for the Phoenix Suns. He was on the Olympic Dream Team basketball team in the 1992 Summer Basketball Olympics. And they had to play a total of 20 different countries to win a U.S. gold medal. And one of the teams that they ended up playing against was against Spain. As you know, Spain is the nation's capital of basketball and soccer. Like, about 50 years ago, they just did soccer. But when the NBA was trying to grow its market and expand, one of the few places they went to is Spain. And you fast forward 25 years later, in the NBA basketball, National Basketball Association, you got at least 15 or 25 men that are from Spain. You know Pat Gasol, right? Pat Gasol is from Spain. Pat Gasol, who won he won two NBA championships with the Los Angeles Lakers back in 2009 when he was, so take that back. Pat Gasol got acquired in the 2006-2007 NBA season, and then in 2009 he won his first NBA championship when it was the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Orlando Magics in the NBA Finals. Well, Pat Gasol and Marc Gasol, the Gasol brothers, they are from Spain. And when Kobe Bryant was a kid, yes, the five-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant, the one that scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors in 2006-2007 NBA season, and then the Kobe Bryant that dropped 60 points in his retirement. Well, Kobe lived in Spain for a short, brief time, and Kobe learned how to speak Spanish. And a lot of the women found him physically, sexually attractive, and that's why we made the video. So Pat Gasol, Marc Gasol, and then to make it more close, we got San Antonio's Manu Ginobili, who is a four-time NBA champion for the San Antonio Spurs. Before he got drafted into the NBA, he was playing professional basketball or soccer in Spain 20 years ago. He was in Spain. playing professional basketball. And they loved this style of play, and he got drafted into the NBA, and he ended up on the San Antonio Spurs. So during the 1992 Olympic Dream Team, a lot of the women from Spain started, taking pictures with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. They saw Akeem Olajuwon from the Houston Rockets. They saw Karl Malone. They saw Charles Barkley. There's a whole lot of guys on that Olympic basketball dream team. And when they were there, they had to play against Spain 3 times just to qualify to get to the finals. They had to qualify. And from that point on, that's when black men found out that women from Spain have a powerful sexual attraction to black men. They like the fact that we're bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic, and we know how to put it down in the bedroom. And that they loved our culture a lot. And black men started speaking Spanish, and we started to learn their culture. Now, some men, and I say this, not all men, some men get confused when they see a Spanish woman and they see a Mexican woman. They think they're both the same. Now, let me explain some stuff on that. You ever seen the movie Training Day with Denzel Washington? And there's that scene where Nathan Hawke wakes up, as Hoyt, and his woman, Denzel Alonzo's woman, come in there and give him some Salvadorian food, and she tries to explain to him the difference between the Mexican food that you were eating and a Salvadorian food. Well, Spanish people have Spanish food, and a lot of times people, when they eat Mexican food, they accidentally call Mexican food Spanish food, and they call Spanish food Mexican food. And they get confused between the two. Spanish is the descendant of Latino culture. So if you ever walk on the street and you see a Spanish person from Spain and you call them Mexican, don't be surprised if they get angry or upset with you for calling them the wrong race. Now, they are a descendant of a Latino person. So most Latino people can speak Spanish very fluently, but the reason why you always hear people say Spanish is the language I speak, but I'm Latino, what they're trying to say is that is the descendant. So when people say Spanish, what they trying to say is there's Latino and then there's Spanish. The food tastes very similar, but it's different. With Latino traditional food, it's nice and it tastes and it's sweet. With traditional Spanish food, it's got herbs and spices in it. Wine, where you think wine comes from not one place, wine comes from 2 different places. Wine comes from France, and then it also comes from Spain. A lot of the spices come from Spain. And let's not forget about the music. A lot of times they can dance their ass off. See, here's the difference between a Latino woman and a Spanish woman. A Spanish woman is very athletic. She's going to be petite, skinny looking. Hollywood actress Penelope Cruz, I think either on her mother's side of the family or her father's side of the family, she has Spanish in her blood. So she can speak the language pretty well. And sometimes she passes as a Spanish woman. A lot of people forget that Penelope Cruz is Latino, because she does have that in her blood too, but they forget that she's Spanish descent. It's almost like the same thing with black people. You know how they say there's African American and then there's American black people? Well, it's kind of like that, where you got 2 different shades of black people. Well, it's the same thing with Latino. There's Latinos and then there's Spanish. So a Latino woman, a Mexican woman that's very beautiful, very physically, sexually attractive, she has curves. She's gonna have, big size round breasts and a big butt. She's gonna have curves. Not necessarily fat, but she's gonna have curves. A Spanish woman is going to be skinny and be what they call an exotic beauty. You ever heard the word exotic, right? Well, back in the late 60s, early 70s, mid 80s, when a lot of these guys were trying to get international supermodels, one of the places you would go to is Spain. And when they saw all these exotic Spanish women and started taking pictures of them and putting them in magazines. Now you fast forward 50 years later in Men's Maximum magazine, and you see supermodels that are from Brazil, you see supermodels from Canada, and you see supermodels from Spain and Brazil, but mostly Brazil and Spain, sometimes South Africa, and usually Spain always gets put in the conversation of where they find these exotic, beautiful women from. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have no exotic Latino women, because you do. What I'm trying to explain to you people, that if you go to places like New York City, Miami, Florida, Orlando, Florida, you might find some women that got Spanish in their blood. See, a Latino woman, because they were born in America, they lose the accent and they speak American, and you can't tell the difference. With a Spanish woman, they have an accent, and when they speak, it sounds like a very strong, fluent accent, and you get confused. You accidentally mistaken a Mexican woman, a Latino woman, as Spanish, and Spanish as Mexican. So you always get those two confused. And it's not until you see that their food is similar, but their food is different. With Latino people's food is that it tastes sweet and it's mixed in with other stuff that's real good. Like the tortillas, I would say both cultures share the tortillas, but if you want to go with Spain, I understand. Now, these women play the role of a woman. You know how men here in America complain that some American women don't play the role as a wife? Well, all they do in Spain is play the role of a woman. They will wash your clothes. They will cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They will clean the house up. They will attend to all your needs for the most part. And if you're having a bad day at work, they will entertain you with a glass of wine. Why do you think when you watch some of these romance movies and television and film, that every time they have it in Hollywood, they always got it set up where if it's a Spanish girl, she always tries to give the guy a glass of wine to calm down because he's always angry and upset. That's where that comes from. And of course, they'll do the back massage, the neck massage, the feet massage. They'll ask you how good or bad your day at work was, and they will give you some advice because they're supposed to play the role of a woman, and they do know when to tell you you're doing something wrong and it's not, good. And you see a lot of people look at those Fast and Furious movies, and they sometimes get confused when they see the actresses in those movies. Well, those actresses like Michelle Rodriguez, she does have Spanish in her family too. They say she's Puerto Rican, but she has a small little trace of Spanish in there too. She can speak the language. It may not look like it, but she can. And those women love them some black men. When black men go to Spain, they always ask, do you play professional basketball? And those women just get so excited when they see somebody like a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, a LeBron James. They get so excited when they see American black men visit Spain. No sooner you get off the plane and you step into a restaurant in Spain, all the waitresses are Spanish women. And if they can speak some English, they'll walk over to you and say, hi, you American? And you'll go, yes, I'm American. And black women also go to Spain too. See, the men in Spain love them some black women. Oh yes, I'm putting it in the video because a lot of people be making videos about the swirling community. Black women get approached by Spanish men a lot in Spain. I'm serious. When black women go on road trips to Spain, they get hit on by Spanish men. Spanish men love them some black women. And when black men go to Spain, women from Spain love them some black men. You know, almost for pretty much the same reasons. You know, Spanish women find black men exotic. Black men find Spanish women exotic. And the sex, oh, the sex is gonna be on the chain, man. The sex is so great that you're gonna be wanting to do it a second time and a third time and a fourth time in one night. Now you still have to display strong traces of masculinity. So don't be thinking that just because I made the video that you can get away from that. You still gotta have a job, you still gotta make money, and you still have to portray yourself as a man. If they sense or detect any fear in you whatsoever, then they're gonna lose all sexual attraction for you. So that's pretty much this video, is that they're exotic, and their exotic beauty is what makes the black man come to them. And the fact that black men are exotic and Spanish women are exotic, they make some pretty great looking kids. So yeah, that you've been waiting for this video and you finally got it. Next time I'm going to make a video about the nightclub, because a lot of people are still stressing over, is it okay or not okay to go to the nightclubs and the bar. So that'll be the next video. And then the very, very next time I come back on here, we'll make a video about Samoan women. Because, you know, there are some Samoan women that love black men too, and that'll probably be the next. And then I might decide what will be the last and final video of this series. Until then, peace.